Prepare to experience the strongest radio allowable by law. Secrets will be revealed. Myths dispelled. From the studio gym where excuses never apply, it's Superhuman Radio with your host, Carl Lenore.
This is Science for Humans with Dr. Jeff Galini.
How you doing, Dr. Jeff?
I'm doing good, Carl. How are you?
Good. We missed you last week.
Yeah, a little week off.
So we continue on with the B vitamins. And the reality is that each of these vitamins in and of themselves, while they're lumped into the B category, are really quite unique in what they do for the body, right?
Absolutely.
Do we have a little bit of an echo?
Yeah, I'm hearing it on my end there.
It may have just gone away. Let's just see. I think it just
it did.
Yeah, see, it just took a little second for the audio to adjust. Anyway, I mean, really, you look at, we talk about the B vitamins like they're all the same. Oh, it's a B complex. But every one of these vitamins does something different. We could have easily have named them something other than B vitamins, right?
Absolutely. I mean, they are so unique in themselves. I think the reason why they were named B complex or B vitamins is because they're so intricate the way they work together, and they're essential for body functions.
I got it. So today we're going to talk about B-6, pyridoxine, right?
Absolutely. And, pyridoxine is another one of the B vitamins, as we said. It's also, called pyridoxamine or pyridoxal, but pyridoxine HCl is what you normally see in the vitamin supplements. And it's interesting because this particular B vitamin is involved in more than 100 enzyme processes, that have a wide impact on our health. I mean, that's a lot.
The more we talk about B vitamins, the more I realize that it really is critical to supplement with B vitamins, because each of these B vitamins are found that we've been talking about and that we'll talk about even into the future. While they're found in food sources, they're not all found in the same food sources. You would think that B vitamins would all be in the same foods, but they're just not. And so I have to think that it's probably prudent to consider supplementing with a B complex. I think we talked about this last time. We still have an offer that's available to the audience. VitaDrive is the most complete multivitamin made specifically for hard training athletes. Today is June 24th. Through the end of this month, you can get a bottle of VitaDrive for just $5.95 when you use the coupon code DRJEFF, Dr. Jeff. This is $16 off a bottle of VitaDrive, which there are people out there who've been taking VitaDrive for a very, very long time. This has been a staple in the offerings of All American EFX and All American Pharmaceutical, right?
Yeah, we've had this product. I think I formulated it 25 years ago. It's amazing how, great a product it was then, and there's no change to it. And, one of the things you were talking about, why it's so important to supplement with these B vitamins is that even though B6 is considered one of the more stable B vitamins, when you process it, freeze it, cook it, can it, you're losing 40 to 80% of that B from the food sources. So, that's why it's always so difficult to get these things sometimes from your food. You can get the minimal amounts to keep you from being deficient. But, if you start to ask more from your body, especially as we're more athletic, you've got to supplement.
So what exactly is vitamin B6 or pyridoxine?
Again, it's a B vitamin, essentially is what it is. I think what you got to look at is more what does it do? Or what are some of the benefits? And being that it's involved in more than 100, of our enzyme processes, there's a pretty long list. But here's some of the major roles that it plays. Most of them have to do with, production of new cells, which we're going to talk about, important with tissue regeneration, skin, mucous membranes. but it helps the immune system to produce antibodies. Obviously antibodies are things that fight diseases.
Right.
Helps the body break down fats and carbohydrates to produce sugar, energy. Helps regulate blood sugar, needed for the metabolism of protein from food. And we've been talking a lot of B vitamins that aid in this process. That's why, it's important that, you take a B complex sometimes versus only thinking I only need B6. But the list kind of goes on, healthy skin, nerve and brain function. And then the big one is, it is essential to make new red blood cells and hemoglobin. And this is what carries oxygen to the tissue.
In fact, if you're deficient of B6, you could actually hit the wall a lot sooner if you are an endurance type athlete. And that's because it not only enhances the formation of red blood cells, but it also causes hemoglobin to bind O2, oxygen, and carry it around the blood. If you could have high hemoglobin and not have enough oxygen bound to it if you're deficient in B6.
Absolutely. And I think, a little bit of a biology lesson is, we've got these red blood cells in our body. And these red blood cells are the most common type of cells that we have, but these are the cells that deliver oxygen to the body tissues, and this happens through the circulatory system. Within those red blood cells is the hemoglobin, which is essentially an iron-containing oxygen transport. It's kind of like how I like to describe it. And, that is essential for delivering oxygen. That is the primary way of getting oxygen to the muscles. And, muscles aren't only, thinking from a working out standpoint, but, brain, lungs, heart, all of that requires oxygen to function.
So being deficient in B6 is not a good idea. You were talking about tissue repair and the immune system. It's responsible for the production of histamine, which is a major component of immune response. But in the area of tissue repair, are we talking about wound healing as well?
We are, we're talking about things that heal quickly, like, skins and wounds. That B6 is essential in that process. And the reason is that, it helps with new cell formation and growth. You wouldn't think that B6 was part of that, but it sure is.
So where do we find B6 typically?
B6 is another one of those things that's really, really, really abundant. My top 10 things are seeds. Sunflower seeds are probably the highest. Sesame seeds, flax seeds, pumpkin, squash. So those type of seeds. Most all nuts, high in B6. Pistachio being the highest, but you also find them in just regular peanuts, walnuts, cashews. Most all fish, high in B6. Then you got your turkey, chicken, lean pork, beef, fruits. Bananas are a little bit higher than some of the citrus fruits. Avocados, spinach. So, again, a pretty staple in our diet. So it's very very difficult to become B6 deficient if you live a normal lifestyle.
Is there any issues with malabsorption that you found in your research?
Yeah, if you do have some gastrointestinal problems, maybe some medication or, some illness or, some gluten intolerance, something that has hindered you from absorption. That's what I found, is we've got to keep that gastrointestinal tract in good shape. That might be a show all by itself, just talking about the old GI, huh?
It's funny because even the pharmaceutical industry is starting to understand the power of the digestive tract itself. It was always assumed that if you took a drug, it was going to work. But what we're finding out now is based on the diversity of the microbes in your stomach and the role that they play in the digestive process, that even drugs are now not working in some people who have certain dysregulations in their digestive tract. So it stands to reason that there would be malabsorption of certain nutrients found in foods as well.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that's why the supplement part of things is so important. You know, I've always told people that it's very, very difficult these days to get high amounts of nutrients from your food. Yes, it's possible. But even when you talk about, well, I eat healthy, you know, we talked about a couple months ago, you know, most of the fruits and vegetables are radiated. So you lose all the vitamins and mineral content. And even talking about, well, I only eat organic, I'm sorry, but how do we really know that that's organic? You know, just because it got a sticker on
word.
it.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, to me, unless I grow it myself, but it's very difficult. So, you know, that's why it's important that we have to supplement, especially, you know, as important as this particular vitamin B6 is, you know, being involved with so many processes.
Well, and being that the vitamin B category are all water soluble, you don't have to worry about getting too much of it, so to speak, where you're accumulating it in your body. You basically urinate it out day in and day out. So if you did, that's one of those things. I think it's better to have a little more than a little less when it comes to those particular vitamins.
Yeah, it's very difficult to overdose on vitamin B6 unless you are, you know, particular sensitive and you experience, you know, some type of problems, which we'll talk a little bit about. But you'd have to take very, very high doses, and I'm talking, you know, 1,000, 2,000 grams a day for a long period of time. You could have some instances, but other than that, very difficult. Unless you're on like anti-convulsive or anti-Parkinson's drugs. Always want to consult a doctor if you are on some type of medications.
My sister had Parkinson's disease. She wasn't allowed to take B vitamins because they competed with the levodopa and carbidopa, the Cinnamate that she was taking.
And that's why you should always be careful. You know, when you are on some medication, there are always indications and things that conflict or help with quicker absorption. So you should always just double check with your doctor before jumping into a supplement, especially a B vitamin.
But what I didn't understand is if in fact the B vitamins were truly competing for the dopaminergic response in the substantia nigra, for that response with the pharmaceutical drug, why not give people who are suffering from these disorders more B vitamins and see if those will help ameliorate some of the symptoms? Because, I mean, think about it. When we talk about something that competes, right? It competes for a receptor, let's say. It means that it has some similar action as the other thing that it's competing with. It just stands to reason that, I mean, poor people on Parkinson's medication, they're told not to eat protein very frequently because it also competes with the Cinnamate. It's like, well, maybe they should be eating high protein diets and high B vitamin diets.
Well, absolutely. And, you know, this is the lifelong struggle between, you know, pharma and dietary supplements is, you know, the good Lord put everything in nature, I think, that we need. You know, obviously going to the doctor, God bless them, you know, but the first thing they do is they look at the PDR and they want to find a drug. They forget about the PDR for herbal supplements or PDR for nutritional supplements. And I think most people, or a good majority of people, could probably be off medication just by figuring out what deficiencies they are having. Because these symptoms are there, you know.
I completely agree. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, let's talk about what deficiencies in this particular B vitamin look like, so people in the audience can kind of make a determination on their own. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
We're talking with Dr. Jeff Galini. This is Science for Humans. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Superhuman Radio.
If you want to outlast, outmuscle, and outperform your competition with a high-powered, stimulant-free carbohydrate source that has zero sugars, you want Karbolyn. Karbolyn is the original high-performance fuel that will allow you to load your muscles with glycogen in minutes instead of hours. As a pre, intra, and post-training supplement, it will give you a hardness and fullness to your muscles like you've never felt before. As an endurance supplement, Karbolyn has been proven to increase VO2 max by 2.8%. If you want fast absorption and sustained energy without bloating or cramping, get Karbolyn. Go to AAEFX.com today.
This is the Superhuman Channel. where brawn and brains finally meet.
Welcome back. This is Science for Humans with my co-host, Dr. Jeff Galini. We're talking about vitamin B6. And now we're going to talk about deficiencies. So if you think you have a deficiency, how do you know? Are there very, very blatant outward signs, Dr. Galini?
Yeah, there are some. First of all, people might be wondering, how can I become deficient? Well, number one, it's usually from the diet. Or as we said, if you do have some stomach or intestinal disorders that hinder your absorption. But smoking and alcohol will deplete your B6 along with a variety of medications. So even though we might have a healthy diet, there are things out there that we don't know that could actually deplete that B6. But some of the common things, dry skin, skin disorders like scaling, what you would just normally think you had dry skin, that could be a B6. Cracks or sores on the lips, tongues, or mouth is probably two of the most common. Then you get into some of the nerve-related problems, convulsions and seizures. A lot of people talk to me and say they have leg cramps or they get numbness in their hands and feet. Well, again, that's a B6. But here's one. How about irritability, a mood abnormal?
Oh my God, I'm B6 deficient. No,
you are. Or, mental depression. I mean, could you imagine going to the doctor and say, you know what, I've got mood swings and I feel depressed. Oh, antidepressant.
Yeah, right. The first thing they go for, right?
But again, that's a deficiency. Our bodies need these things to function.
Well, think about this. So some of the most common things that are prescribed today are designed to overcome depression, overcome neuropathies, okay? Skin lesions, dermatitis. These are all commonly treated conditions that each one of them calls for its own drug when it may just be a vitamin B deficiency.
And a B is not something, you take it one day, you take it and you expect to feel something in 5 minutes. Again, it takes some time to build this up because it's water soluble. But another thing, migraine headaches. Now, I'm not saying B6 is the cure for migraines, but it is a symptom of a deficiency. The same with chronic fatigue and feeling weak. I mean, how many people report, man, I'm just tired all the time?
Yeah. Yeah, and they go right for an energy drink. We're going to talk about this the next show, but I just kicked a caffeine addiction. Hi, my name is Carl Lenore, and I'm a caffeine addict. No, this is my third time in 15 years that I'm having to go, oh my God, I'm addicted to caffeine again. Like, when am I going to learn my lesson? I was using 800 milligrams a day because I got to get through the day. And maybe I'm just deficient in B vitamins. Here's one that I didn't know about until preparing for this show. My niece, also my goddaughter, calls me all the time and says, OMG, I have conjunctivitis again. I have pink eye again. Why do I keep getting pink eye? Guess what one of the symptoms of a B6 deficiency are? Reoccurring pink eye.
And, that's from a weak immune system, and that is something that B6 does, is, it boosts your immune system and helps with lowering those chronic infections and things.
Yeah, this is an important one. And you know what? I just need to start taking my VitaDrive. I got to be honest with you. I got a bottle of it at home, and it's like I take so many supplements throughout the day. Oh, I'm getting enough B. I just need to start taking my VitaDrive. I really do.
And I could be as honest as anybody. I've got it sitting too, and until I started doing this show, I didn't really think I needed extra B vitamins. And now, when I started with the first B, I thought, man, I got to get back on this VitaDrive. So I've been taking it in the morning. And last night I was thinking, instead of taking the whole dose at once, it would be better to space it out during the day.
Yes, because of the solubility of the B vitamins. They pass right
because
through.
If you take too much of any of these water-soluble vitamins, the neon stream, as we call it, I mean, you just pee it right out. So it's better to take smaller doses, similar to eating, throughout the day. So that's what I'm going to start tomorrow. I'm just going to do one cap, and I'm going to do it 4 times a day. But I'll tell you, I did feel an improvement in my overall well-being, sleeping better. Some of the tingling of the arms at night, I haven't had that anymore. And I'm really contributing it to the B complex, to those vitamins. It's very difficult to determine which one it is. That's why I like the shotgun theory, taking the B vitamin, because we're all probably deficient in something,
Yeah, no, I agree. And again, this is a shameless pimp job, but hey, $5.95 for a superior bottle of multivitamin made specifically for hard training athletes. For those of us who use this stuff up and burn it up, and it goes through us a lot faster. You can get it by using the coupon code DRJEFF. You can get to the website by going to superhumanradio.com and clicking any of the All-American EFX banner ads, and then just search for VitaDrive. I mean, it's a great deal.
And the reason why I kind of came up with that idea a few weeks ago is, let's face it, dietary supplements are expensive. And sometimes, it's hard for us to invest in those things. We'll pay $3 for a Rockstar or something, but we won't want to spend $19.99 or whatever on a supplement. So I thought, man, this would be a good way for people to really see the benefit of taking a B vitamin.
Yeah, it's a great product. And I'm going to do this with you. Actually, I'm going to be leaving tomorrow morning to go to Montana, to be with Dr. Jeff, because we're going to be doing a live, remote from All American Pharmaceutical on Friday for Casual Friday. Elisa Profumo will be here in the studio. I will be there with Dr. Jeff. But I'm going to start doing it too. I'm going to start today. I've got my VitaDrive right here in the studio. I'm going to start taking it today. I'm going to take it until the bottle is gone, and I'm going to see how I feel, if I notice any changes.
Okay, good. I think you'll feel better, man. I know I'm going to do the same thing today. I'm going to get me another bottle here at work, and I'm going to space mine out.
Yeah. Anything else you want to say, wrapping it up about the B vitamin, this particular B vitamin?
No, I think that kind of sums it up. We've been doing this B vitamin series, and again, the reason is they are very important. And as we said, they're not the sexiest or the most promoted supplements out there, but they're probably the most important. Always remember, the basics, the foundation are the things that we've got to stick with. You don't do this for a little bit and then go try some new product that isn't even in this category. You always got to build off the basics, because once you get feeling good, you forget how you felt before you started supplementation. So just keep with it, and you will start feeling better within a couple 2-3 days.
And I just had a thought. Many of us in this audience are big fans of intermittent fasting. And if you don't have adequate B vitamins, you're going to have a hard time having glucose produced through gluconeogenesis, because the B vitamins are critical for the conversion of fats and even amino acids into glucose. So that's another good reason why to make sure you're taking your B vitamins. If you fast once a week for the therapeutic benefits of it, and you want to get through your fast a lot easier, then make sure you have enough B vitamins in you. Is that a fair statement, Dr. Jeff?
That's a really good statement. And essentially, in closing, I get emails from you folks, and hopefully I get back to you with good answers. But, if you ever had any questions, or, you wanted to comment on the show, or you had some suggestions, Superhuman Radio has a Ask the Scientist. You can go there, and if for some reason you lose that website, you can just Google my name, and you can find also an Ask the Scientist on the All-American Pharmaceutical website.
There you go. Great. All right, Dr. Jeff, thank you so much for being here today, and we will see you. I'll see you literally tomorrow.
Yeah, you have a good flight, man, and the weather's nice, and we got lots of beef for you.
Okay, see you then.
All right, my friend. Bye-bye.